What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Before I do my first Q&A tomorrow, I had a question on the YouTube video, to submit questions. And I can't find it now. I don't know if it got deleted or what the deal is, or maybe I just dreamt it was there. Anyways, one of the questions that someone asked me was, what collaborations do I want to see in 2017? And I thought to myself, that is a good question. It's one that I felt should be answered in a separate video versus just kind of power throughing it. So I just sat down real briefly this morning and thought to myself, what collaborations would I like to see? With the exception of one of the collaborations, all of these are new ones that haven't happened, and they were just kind of random to me. And I will explain why I chose each one, but I really just sat down and thought, okay, what's a rapper? Boom, I got one rapper. Who would I like to see him work with? That's pretty much how I did it. Now I'm going to share with you 5 collaborations that I would want to see in 2017 and beyond, because sometimes you won't get every collaboration that you hope for in the same year, so I'm not closing the door on any of these collaborations. These are collaborations that I wouldn't mind seeing at some point whenever. So the first one on my list is 2 people that have collaborated in the past, but they've made magic. Lil Wayne and Mannie Fresh. With the Carter 5 supposedly coming out sometime this year, as well as 3 other Lil Wayne projects. 2 will be solo, and then there's another one that'll be a collaborative mixtape with Gutta Gutta and Hoodie Baby. And so Wayne is about to drop Dedication 6, Funeral, and the Carter 5. And at some point, we're going to hear what Lil Wayne and Mannie Fresh have been cooking up, because they worked on the Carter 5. And more than likely, they've worked on songs that may not make the Carter 5. So I'm hoping that the collaborations that they do have coming out will be a return to form. I want to be reminded of those days of the Carter, and just the chemistry and the magic that they had. I really want Mannie Fresh to pop in on a record and start shouting out random things. Cats, snakes, chicken, ducks, ethnic people, twerkers, I present to you. Like, I want another moment like that, because Mannie Fresh is just a very entertaining person. If you've ever listened to his actual music or stuff with big timers, that right there is entertainment. He's not the best rapper ever, and he never will be, but he was entertaining when he was doing the stuff. So that's one collaboration that I would like to see. Another one is 2 people that got in the studio around November-ish. Z and Zaytoven. Now, I have no idea what Jay-Z is going for with this next album. We've seen him in the studio with DJ Mustard, I believe Drummer Boy as well. It's like all around, he's just bouncing around the entire spectrum of music. And I like that, because he's working with new people. People that you wouldn't have suspected him to work with. If you would have said that one day Jay-Z would hop on a Zaytoven beat, he'd look at you crazy. We'd all look at everybody crazy like, what? This is not something that was destined to happen. But Zaytoven is a very diverse producer, so I feel like he's not going to give Jay-Z a Gucci Mane sounding beat. And I don't want that for Jay-Z. If Jay-Z's going to work with Zaytoven, I want them to create something that sounds unique, that sounds like it's supposed to fit. I don't want one of these moments where it's like Jay-Z is hopping on something that, like I said, like Gucci Mane. I just want something that's going to be unique. It's going to be fun, creative, and ultimately just a dope song. So I'm hoping at some point we'll hear what they were working on in the studio. Next on my list is 2 West Coast artists. One a legend and the other a future legend. Snoop Dogg and Ty Dolla $ign. In one way, you can kind of say that they've collaborated, because they are on a record with Wiz Khalifa titled You and Your Friends. But aside from that, you haven't seen any records from them 2 collaborating. At first, when I thought about Snoop Dogg, because I wanted to include Snoop Dogg on the list, he still makes good music from time to time. I thought about Snoop Dogg and YG. I googled that, and there's a couple records that exist. The Tootin' and Boot It remix, there was Bickin' It. And while I would like to see another collaboration between the two, because YG has definitely improved since those days, I thought about how Ty Dolla $ign is often heralded as like a reincarnation of Nate Dogg. Like they're kind of in that same category. I don't believe that in particular. I guess I get it because they're both just geniuses when it comes to creating hooks. But that's as far as it goes for the comparison for me. So I would like to see Snoop and Ty Dolla $ign get it in. I mean, at least you're going to get a great Ty Dolla $ign hook. Next on my list is YG and Gucci Mane. I think that if they came together and collaborated, it would be fun. It would be one of those collaborations where it's either going to be very street or more of like a party club type of single. And they're capable of coming together and doing both of them. They could do an EP together. I think it would be kind of cool because then you'd have Gucci on DJ Mustard beats, you'd have YG on Zaytoven and the Honorable C Note, Drummer Boy, Metro Boomin. I know the YG and Metro Boomin already happened, but it would be cool to see it happen again. And so I think that YG and Gucci Mane would be a good connection to collaborate. The last collaboration on my list is Kendrick Lamar and Nas. With them working on their next albums, I feel like they're going to be kind of similar. When you look at where Kendrick has been going and where Nas has been going on these guest features, it seems like they're going to make records, an album that's going to be very powerful for the black community. You have Nas on Robin Thicke's Deep talking about how police are killing blacks and all the stuff that's going on. And so I look at it like they're on very similar career paths right now. I could be totally wrong in assuming that Nas is going to make an album like that, but he has shown that he's capable of it and that it's definitely on his mind. So I would be surprised if there's not some kind of record or records on that album that kind of center around that subject matter. And I just think that with both of these artists, they're kind of, I don't know if I can say Nas is in his prime, but Nas has definitely stayed sharp. And so Kendrick is in his prime or approaching his prime. Basically, both of them are great artists right now. There's no falling off from either side. So I think now would be a perfect time for them to come together. So those are just 5 collaborations that jumped out to me when I thought about the question. Now I want to open up the discussion. What collaborations would you like to see, whether it's an artist and an artist, an artist and a producer, hell, even a producer and a producer? Talk to me in the comment section below, and then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter @SummersDomain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, peace.